Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet, and today, work too hard and you'll hallucinate. For a variety of factors through most of my adult life, mostly hereditary, I have encountered migraines. In varying qualities and varying quantities, usually black spots and just pain, which I think tends to define migraines for many people. The medicine I have for it does not work particularly well, and it doesn't work particularly well through work circumstances because, I don't know, it makes me slow, tired, just generally not applicable. So, for most of the past 10 years, I just lived through it. I've got various strategies associated with that, things like having early nights, deep breathing, a variety of factors to try and slow myself down in such a way that the migraines won't affect me. In general, that works really well. Well, it kind of holds things at bay. But it does motivate me to think about certainly making changes in my life. More on that in a future Short Funk recording. But for now, something very curious occurred in the past week. I started to have what I will call kaleidoscope migraines. These are migraines which don't appear as painful as the black dot migraines, but they result in coloured, fan-shaped rainbow-like visuals that go on for between 10 and 20 minutes. For my sins, it looks like I'll be working through Christmas and New Year. I've done this previously associated with my professional work. But for me, I don't know. It just indicates that things could be slightly smarter associated with how I work. But it's the necessary evil of living in a capitalist world. And you just have to bear with these kind of things. Last week I had various plumbing problems, which are not only my plumbing problems, they're also my tenants' plumbing problems. Try to say that fast. And this ate into some of my sleep. It caused a lot of additional stress. And then Thursday, Friday last week were a series of work-related emergencies, which kind of spiraled into my weekend. And by Monday morning, sipping my coffee, I realized that I was having these strange coloured spirals appear. And my first instinct was, can I continue to work through this circumstance? And I realized that actually I could, although the colours were very vibrant and were interesting to look at, for want of a better term, I still had a small postage stamp-like focal space, which I could use for my code editing at the time. I had one more of these appear on that day, and then the phenomena stopped for me, which I'm relatively thankful about. It was strangely less painful than the black dot migraines, but like some kind of wound, it takes time to heal. And unfortunately, as I've noted associated with working through Christmas and New Year, I haven't really had a lot of time to heal the wound, so to speak. But what I have done is I've taken as much time as I can off. I've removed myself from work in certain circumstances, and for some around me, it's been a point of concern, but, you just have to soldier through these kind of things. And certainly for my long-suffering wife, she has been particularly concerned through this. But for me, ebbs and flows, it's not going to be this way forever. And quite frankly, I've got a lot of exciting things to look forward to next year, many of which are already in a state where even if I was, working ridiculous hours, I'd still be able to fit these things in and in many cases put this stuff out. It struck me as kind of ironic that the likes of Nancy Reagan and co. wouldn't actively talk about the fact that if you work too hard, you will reach psychedelic states as well. I have a line in my book Field of Chaos that says, for the sober, delirium is the only respite. And although curiously, this wasn't a delirious experience, it did kind of shock me and limit my areas of perception, I was still cognizant enough to hold meetings and do a variety of other things and code, and in general, it was just a strange incidental aspect of my day. I've looked online, and for particular kinds of migraines, these kind of visual elements are perfectly normal, or as normal as these things can be. I don't feel particularly hard done by them, and if anything, it was a welcome break, a holiday, for want of a better term, in a week that had very little humour, very little subtlety, and really was indicative of things that probably need to change in the future, but just are there now. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.